Good day. So in this video I'll be showing you how you can use packages in Laravel. So packages, also called libraries or third-party libraries, are the packages that are installed by Laravel, or you can also install custom ones. So by default Laravel already installs all this. So if you open the vendor directory, you should see a bunch of folders. So here's one. So this is the package for generating fake data, so you can use this for testing. And what else? Also we have this Nestbot Carbon. So this is used for manipulating dates. And PHP unit for unit testing. There's also Swift Mailer for sending emails. So yeah, you don't need to write all the functionality by yourself because existing libraries can already do that for you. So all you have to do is install it in this. So libraries can be found on the packages.org website. So if we check for Nestbot, so you don't need to type in enter, and it should automatically show here. So this is an extension for the date and time, so you can use this to easily manipulate the dates and times in PHP. So now we're going to its homepage. So if you install it, you just need to execute this command. So composer require Nestbot Carbon, but since we already have it installed, Laravel already does that for you because it's a dependency of Laravel. So we don't need to install it. So now we just go to the home page so that we can learn how to use it. So type in the getting started, and it's saying here that you should use the Carbon class. So copy this and paste it here. So if you have a controller, you should paste this inside the controller. So since this is just demonstration purposes, we're pasting it in the routes.php so that we can use it from here. So next, what we need to do is use the Carbon now. So the now method simply returns the current date and time. So Carbon and then now. So let's check. So that's the output, 2015 11/22 10:52. So it's already 6:52 p.m. in here, and this is saying 10:52, so it means 10 a.m. So we need to check the time zone. So to do that, we need to go to the config directory. So from the root, go to the config and then app.php. So here you can see that the time zone is set to UTC. So if we set this to Asia Manila, you should be able to see the same time in the Philippines. So this should now be 6:53. Okay, so 1853. So if you compute, so 12 noon is 12, so 1 p.m. is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so this is correct. So it's in a 24-hour time format. Okay, so let's check for other methods. Go to the docs. So here you can compare two dates. And you can get the time zone as well. So let's check that. TZ name. Go back to the routes and say carbon now TZ name. So take note that this is a property and not a method. So if it's property, you don't have the opening and closing parentheses. So let's check. Okay, so we get the Asia/Manila because it is what we've set in here. So we also have a yesterday method. So it just outputs the date yesterday. And you can also have this. So if we say last Friday, it should return the date last Friday. So uncomment that and then return carbon. So it's actually a new instance. So new carbon and then last Friday. So if we check, it's 2015 11:20 and the time is 00. So it's correct. So you can check the difference as well. And there's the for humans. So something like this, 1 hour from now, 5 months from now. So there's a bunch of other methods that you can use. So that's it for this carbon library. There's also the Baker library, which is this. So if we check this folder name in, so under the vendor we can see that there's this Epson Ninoto folder. So if we go to packages and search for it, you should be able to see this as the first result. And then you can visit the GitHub page. And now you can see how to use it. So first you need to create a factory. So copy that. Since it's already installed in Laravel by default, you should be able to use it. So uncomment the carbon, then create a new Faker factory. And now we can just call the different properties. So Faker name generates a fake name. So let's check. So that's the generated. So if we refresh, it should generate a new one. Okay, so you can use this one for testing, and there's a bunch of other information as well. So you can generate addresses or random text. You can also have it in a loop, random letter, random digit. So you have access to all of these properties after you have created the factory. So let's try to generate a random email. So instead of name, we say email. Okay, so it works. So that's it for this faker. And next, let's try to install a library that hasn't been installed yet. So let's search for a library in packages called Perl. So this library is used for URL manipulation. So click that and copy this command, and then on the bash paste it, Ctrl V, and then enter. So this should install the Perl library. Okay, so once it says this, it should now be installed. So if we check in the vendor directory, it's already there. So JWage and then Perl. So these are the source files for this library. So now go back here and then visit the GitHub page so that we can see how it's being used. So we have already done this, and then to use it, just create a new instance of the URL class. So copy, then paste, and then we can now manipulate this URL. So here it's setting the scheme and the part and user. You can set queries as well. So first let's manipulate the scheme. So URL and then set scheme. Then we can set it to HTTPs. And this set method can be changed, so we can just go on and on. So now we're going to set the path. And then we're happy with that, so we can now return the URL. So return, and then from the URL variable you call the getURL method to return the final result of this code. So since we changed the scheme, it should now be https jwage.com, and then we have added a path about /me, so it should say about/me. So go here and then, okay, sure enough, got the expected output. Okay, so that's it for this video.